Learning is like growing a garden. For me, this metaphor truly resonates because having my own garden is something that has brought me much joy, but it's also presented many challenges. Growing a garden requires patience, nurturing, problem solving, tenderness, and care, as well as trial and error. These are all the things that must be incorporated when growing a garden, much like when teaching students. Helping students grow academically can also be a challenge. In order to be successful in helping our students flourish, we must practice patience, provide nurturing, incorporate problem solving, show tender loving care every single day. Through trial and error, we must practice the strategies that are best suited for each individual student. Teachers are much like gardeners. Gardeners know the individualized, purposeful routine for their specific garden, depending on what's growing in it. Every gardener knows the right amount of soil and water required for each plant within that garden. The gardener knows whether the plants need a lot of sun, very little sun, and even a little too much sun will be detrimental to the life of a specific plant. Upon deciding to grow a garden, the gardener is already aware of the efforts that will be required to maintain it. Therefore, a gardener knows the amount of preparation he or she must do in advance in order to be able to have a successful garden that will be in full bloom when time comes. Much time and effort goes into growing a garden, regardless of what type of garden it may be. Much like the time and efforts that go into becoming a teacher and preparing well in advance with the necessary tools to be able to run a successful classroom that can be a healthy learning environment for students to bloom in. Gardens are much like teachers. Teachers know the differentiation process that will need to take place in her classroom in order to have a successful and academic growth for her students. A teacher will know the proper modifications required for every student in her classroom. Upon deciding to become an educator, the teacher is well aware of the amount of preparation that's going to be implemented inside the classroom in order to have a healthy learning environment in which her students can grow to the best of their academic abilities, much like plants in their gardens. It's safe to say that if a garden grows, it's a sign of the gardener's accomplishments and success. This is the case for educators too. If her students are able to make academic growth, it's too a sign of her success. Growth mindset is essential when considering the learning process of our kids' experiences. It's important as well that we teach our students to have a growth mindset in order to encourage them to look forward to understanding material. For many students, it's difficult to see the light of the end of the tunnel, especially if they find the material that they're learning very difficult. As educators, it's our responsibility to implement this mindset. We need to encourage our students to set goals for themselves, even when the material is being covered is difficult for them to understand. The growth mindset could be actually used to encourage our students to know, even if they don't understand the given material, growth mindset can help them get small goals in order to reach larger goals in their long-term learning process. Some plants, like some students, adapt to their environments well and are able to learn without a problem, while others experience extra care and attention in order to thrive. The social learning theory is much like learning how to be a successful gardener. Social learning theory suggests that social behavior is learned by observing and imitating the behavior of others. Teachers and gardeners must learn research-based strategies and mimic those strategies in order for their students and plants to succeed. Teachers learn how to be a good teacher by observing mentor teachers, learning strategies in their credentials or master's program, and they also learn through professional development. By observing and learning from others, teachers are able to make those strategies and implement them in their own classrooms for students to learn successfully. This is just like how gardeners must learn how to garden by watching other gardeners, watching videos, and simply trial and error. Gardeners and teachers can learn positive skills that will help their students and plants to grow. Behaviorism is also much like gardening. Behaviorism focuses on the idea that all behaviors are learned through interaction with the environment. This learning theory states that behaviors are learned from the environment, and plants are like students. Through root systems and common networks, plants are able to communicate with one another below ground and alter their behaviors or even share nutrients depending on their environmental cues. When plants are put under different conditions, their behaviors change and adapt to their environment. This is true for students too. Students' behaviors can be altered or changed by putting them in different environments or conditions. When teachers give students a nurturing environment, their behaviors reflect. If we notice a student is behaving in a way that's different than our expectations, we can alter their environment to help them change their behavior so that it's more positive. It's important for teachers to look at the environment around them to see what's causing different behaviors to occur. Just like a gardener needs to alter a plant's environment if they see their plant is not succeeding in their current place. Constructivism is also like gardening. This learning theory states that students are active participants in their learning. Constructivism is an important learning theory that educators use to help their students to learn. Constructivism is based on the idea that people actively construct or make their own knowledge, and that reality is determined by their experiences as a learner. Plants are like students in that plants create their own food just like students create their own knowledge. Plants' roots take up water and minerals from the ground, and their leaves absorb carbon dioxide from the air, while students use their existing knowledge along with the new information that teachers are providing to help them create new learning and ideas. Plants and students both use their resources to grow. Gardens are a place in which things are allowed to grow and become one with nature, just like our classroom is a place in which things are allowed to grow and become one with their class and one with their knowledge. Gardens, as well as gardeners, help bring peace to many, including myself. I found that during my times of need and complexities, gardening has helped me clear my mind of many stressors. This could be because gardens are reflective of positive signs in our world, and in dark times are symbolic of better times that are sure to come. Teachers can create the same feeling for their students by creating a nurturing and safe space that caters to their needs. If we can teach our students the importance of adapting to our environments, as well as aid them in any way we can to show them that with some patience, love, and care, they too can blossom like the wonderful flowers we see inhabit in our gardens. I hope that through this presentation, we can all practice being a successful gardener for our plants that come through our classrooms each year.